Hey there, it's Amy Cornell, your Texas broker with Front Real Estate, here to help you real estate better. Surveys. So, another part of the listing process is that I want to make sure that the seller has time to look for and get me the survey prior to us going online. Or going live. Because, again, that's another area that the buyer has an option out if they haven't received it. But if we give it to them before they ever contract, right, then it's a nice, easy way to seal up that option out. So I ask my sellers, go through and see if you can find your existing survey. And I tell them that it's about a $400 piece of paper because a normal lot and block survey right now in the Metroplex is going to run around $400. If they are on acreage or there's something special about their home, then it can be a whole lot more than that. So it's that much more important to go and find the other one. And then we want to get that to the title company. And that way then they and the mortgage company for the buyer are going to be the ones to officially say if that is an acceptable old survey or existing survey that we can use. Occasionally, there will be some sort of new thing that has happened to that property, whether it's been a physically new thing or it's been a change to maybe the real property records, an easement was added, something like that. So it's not to say that 100% we can always use an existing survey, but I would say probably 90% of the time right now we are able to use that existing. So I wanted to show you a couple of examples of what that existing survey looks like. You probably know, but this is often what I get from a consumer, and it's something that it's been copied a bunch of times. It's not super pretty, but it's okay. This will work most of the time, like I said. What the title company is going to be looking for is they're going to be looking for lines along all sides. I know you can't see the whole thing there. There we go. You can see the whole thing. So they're going to be looking for lines along all sides. They're going to be looking for this seal. They're going to be looking for a signature. They're going to be looking for a compass rose. And then they're going to be looking to see, can they read the legal description of the property? And that's this part right here. This was actually, and see, this actually says that it's described as on attached Exhibit A. So I'm going to have to get an Exhibit A as well, because otherwise it would have said Lot 8, Block 2. But it looks like maybe this includes a little bit of another part of a lot and block. I don't know. We'll have to double check that. But what it's going to look like is this solid darker line is the lot line, and then the title company is looking to see that the house is inside of that line and that there aren't any sort of easements or encroachments that are causing an issue, those kind of things. Really, as far as from my perspective, all I'm doing is just kind of overseeing to see, did I find all of, did I kind of see that it was a complete survey? Beyond that, I'm really leaving it up to the title company. I'm not doing a whole lot of stress about, is this little bitty thing over the line or anything like that. I'm just going to pitch it over to the title company and make sure that it's cool on that side. I'm going to upload it into my documents so that we've got it with the seller's disclosure, and I've got the survey in T47. I scan all of that into one section and put it all on MLS together, because that way then I can confirm when they sign the seller's disclosure that they've also seen the T47 and survey, because otherwise it doesn't really have a place for for buyer signature. And so if I don't do that, then I've really got to make sure that I've emailed it specifically to title and to the buyer or buyer's agent to make sure that they have been disclosed it. But if I upload it with all the disclosures, then I have their initials on that. They couldn't have had that without the other. So anyway, however you want to do it is cool. And know that the contract calls for the survey and T47. It is not good without one or the other. We've got to have both. This is the T47 document. T47 is a term per the Texas Department of Insurance Code. So, we normally don't deal with that. But because this is giving evidence to the title company that, hey, the title company can rely on this survey, that there have not been any changes. This form was really not completed correctly because it needs to have the date of the last survey here, And then it needs to say, were there any changes to that house since the last survey here? And so that would be filled out. Most of the time it's going to be filled out none, but what I do for my consumer is I'll fill out this part, give it to them, have them fill out the date of the survey, have them fill out none here, and then they'll sign it and get it notarized. Most of the time they can get it notarized at their bank, something like that, and they'll be able to then have it back to me to get it uploaded. All right, I wanted to show you another example of a survey. This is one on our house, and so you can see it's a little complicated, but this is how, when it comes in from the from the surveyor directly, this is often how it looks. I get questions too, like, well, what if there's been a small change? So like over here on this one for my house, this section over here, we have taken down this fence, we've busted up all this concrete, added a whole lot more concrete over there, and actually added this crazy big batting cage on the side. So if I'm looking at this from a title company perspective and they're saying, well, would we be able to lend on it? There's a chance that when we poured that concrete, we went out over this building line. Now, it doesn't have anything on top of it, and so they might be okay with it just as it is if I offer that explanation in the T47. But what I would do is just go back to this T47. I would say, hey, to the best of our knowledge since this date, so whenever this was done, so 2016, I put that on there, and then I'd say, except for the fence on the west side of the home and concrete was removed, additional concrete was added, and I might draw in on another copy, hey, this is where the concrete was added. Something like that might be able to be used, but I don't know. Ultimately, it's not my decision. It's going to be the decision of the title company in tandem with the lender. And so I just want to provide it, and then that's all that I can do. Maybe I'm going to have to buy a new survey. Maybe I'm not. That's up for negotiation. But I did provide my part by going ahead and providing that T47 and the existing survey that I had. So I did meet the requirement of paragraph 1 in the contract where it says the seller is to provide existing survey and the T47. All right. I hope that helps. Thanks, guys.